Have you guys watched the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight?
I'm not.
Wow,
Well,
way to
I'm not a
bait
fuck.
that.
Well, I'm not a loser, so I'm okay. I'm okay. That's not nice to say, but like anyone who has a life hasn't seen it, and nor will anyone even care to watch it. So
Okay, no. Anyone who has a life would watch it to watch Jake Paul win.
Need verify.
anyway,
Yeah, I was kind of hoping you guys would just say no, so I could like do that funny thing from Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater.
Too
Like,
bad.
do you know the one I'm talking about?
No.
Well,
mean, maybe?
Okay, so in Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, or Metal Gear Solid 3, or Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, if you save your game, the character I've got her name, but it's a she. She'll basically like tell Snake something about a movie that came out at around the period of time when Snake Eater takes place. So there is, for example, a pretty well-known conversation where Major Zero comes in and talks about James Bond. But in one particular uh, moment, the character will ask Snake if he had seen My Mother is a Teenage Queen from Mars. I think that was the name of the movie, which obviously didn't exist. It was a Dave Bowie reference, if I recall correctly. And Snake will respond with, I can't say that I have. And then the safe girl will respond with, neither have I. I should probably play Snake Eater.
that's a very long-winded way of explaining a joke.
Well, yeah. But I have to give context. I mean, I'm not a journalist. Context is important.
You know, you're not a journalist, all right. You're actually playing a game good.
Well, I'm not a journalist, but I have journalist blood in me. Like,
And yet you can, you can play
like
games competently.
Like my dad's a journalist. My mother, I think she went to the academy for journalism. My grandfather from my mother's side used to be a sports journalist, if I recall correctly. At least he wrote for like not a newspaper, but like one that was associated with sporting gear. But it's still a journalist nonetheless, and he does have a column in local newspaper. So yeah, basically, I've got somewhat of a journalist inside of me.
I'm sure you do.
Hey, that wasn't that was not intended to be an innuendo. All right.
You're the one that said it, not us.
Well, usually when people say you do you, it's because I make like an innuendo.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure we both know that. But anyway, let's talk about the one thing that likely has no sex involved whatsoever, Crash Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot, Jinx.
Well, no, because you knew I was gonna say it, so you said it. You're basically baiting for a jinx.
No, I wasn't.
That's the only way you can get a jinx.
Well, no coincidence is a thing.
Doesn't matter. I still jinxed you. And you're not supposed to say anything.
Yeah, you jinxed him so bad, he screwed up in the past.
Yep.
Like, seriously, Edgy, how? That's plain obvious.
No.
That one I'm not going to give you shit for. Because I've done that. But it's
Yeah,
like, how
everyone's
do you
done that.
go straight to the second one? A third
Because it's been a while since I played this game.
Yeah,
Like it takes some time for things to set in. Look, I could have just edited past all the fuck ups and pretend like this was a perfect run, but I'm not gonna do that because I'm not. I don't know.
We're not robots.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could say that I sometimes give off ChatGPT energy. But maybe that's because,
No.
like ChatGPT, I'm not capable of feeling. Or just like ChatGPT, I crave the destruction of all humanity.
No, that's me.
Your ChatGPT?
No, wanting the destruction of all of humanity.
All of humanity?
Okay.
Yes.
That sounds very nice. I mean,
And see, I live in America.
America is just a place. If you don't like America, move somewhere else.
Actually,
And see, do you
Actually-
know what happened 11 days ago?
America is technically two continents.
Okay, I'm
I
gonna
shouldn't say two.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, a part of me always laughs when I hear people refer to America as the United States, because if you know anything about the way how states work, I don't think it would be that valid to a false advertising level to call it the United States. I kind of started to internally refer to the United States as the divided state instead, because the only thing they really have in common is, well, their law, and even that, not all laws are in common. Like, I don't see it.
And I'm not going to go into that much detail because we don't go into politics on this channel.
Yeah, but
Says who?
over time, well, you don't want the politics to take over the
Alright, fair
comment
enough.
section. So,
Alright, fair enough, yeah.
not to sound threatening or something, but if you bring up politics in the comment section, we will delete your comment.
And now for Cortex to have a belching contest.
Right. But yeah, I started seeing America not as one singular country, but rather as like 52
50
separate
50.
countries that just share a president. You know, kind of like how the European Union does things. The only difference between America and the European Unions is that if you like travel 2,000 I think it's 2,000 kilometers. I could bother translating that to miles, but to be fair, if Americans don't bother doing that themselves, then why would I bother doing it for them? Basically, you travel 2,000 kilometers in Europe, and people talk a different language. There's an entirely different culture, and the roads are way wonkier. You travel 2,000 kilometers in the United States, like, yeah, some laws are different, but people are mostly still speaking the same language.
Unlike Canada, where you speak two languages.
Well, okay, to be fair, but that's Canada we're talking about.
English is a dead language
it's
the language that will
the same
become
country.
dead in 100 years.
It's the same country as well. It's bilingual as frick.
I mean, I do feel like it's good for people to be bilingual. It can be a bit confusing sometimes, but, you know, I'd say that my level of English is kind of sophisticated. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to bother calling myself a major in English or something. There are still a lot of words where, you know, I cringe whenever they're being used, like... Do you have any idea when I learned the definition of the word perpendicular? I think that was about 5 years ago. And need I remind you, that we already knew each other at that point.
Yeah.
But hey, you're never too old to learn, I'd say.
I will say, your English is much better than my French.
Well, okay, here's the thing about Dutch people though. Like, it's not just me. Pretty much, like 90% of people in the Netherlands are capable of having a conversation in English. The problem is, sometimes it's lacking English. So like, they'll say the right words, but they might not say them in the right order, or they say mostly the right words, but then they slip up and they don't know like how to translate the word roundabout. So it's like yeah, you have to go rechts at the rotonde, and like it happens. But if you're an American looking for a wonderful holiday destination, well, it might not be wonderful, but at least people are mostly able to give you directions.
You kissed that barrel, by the way.
You kissed that barrel
Yeah?
in the cooch.
What? I've got a barrel kink. Do you have a problem with that? Believe me,
Wow,
whenever
kink shames.
believe
I
me,
didn't know
believe
that.
me, whenever I play Metal Gear Solid 4 and I go in a barrel,
No.
I lose it.
Do you
we
really go
just played
faster if
Donkey
you're-
Kong Country like what, months ago.
Yeah. Does it seem like you go faster when you jump up the slopes?
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
It's probably
You
a
just do it
placebo.
'cause
It's-
you
it-
just do it because it's cool. You
It
just
looks
do it
like a
because it's
placebo
cool.
thing.
It might be a placebo thing, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, if I'm playing Crash Bandicoot 3 and I go for the time trials, I slide jump like pretty much everywhere. And I don't know if
you
that,
have to.
I don't know if that makes me go that much faster than the average Crash Dash. But it worked. I got every platinum. So, yeah. Suck my barrel.
Congratulations, you are on the same level as Categoras.
Well, no, I just did the trilogy. I mean, I might be
Yeah,
insane,
Caddy did literally every
still
single
got,
game,
I still got some degree of sanity.
including Crash Bash.
Uh-huh, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But you're still just as good at Crash as Caddy is.
Um,
I'm pretty sure all of us are in a sense.
No,
I guess.
I'm not crazy enough to go for platinums.
I'll do like gold. I'll do like the gold relics because that's
Yeah, in
the
Crash
minimum.
3, 'cause
That's
they
the-
make you.
Well, that's the minimum you could get for like getting all the achievements / trophies, and
the-
also the secret gem in Crash 3.
Yeah, if I
Which-
recall correctly, the gold relics are required for 100 or 102%
Full
completion.
percentage in 3. Full
Yeah,
percentage in 3.
Yeah, the gold relics you'll require for full completion. The platinum relics you require for what I would call full completion.
Fool
Hell no.
completion.
Also, interesting note during this boss fight, I want to point out that drawing on the ground is a pinstripe shooting Crash.
Yes.
Obviously.
Nice. Yeah, that's no shit. That's pretty good. Well, that's pretty good though.
You know, wouldn't it be funny if the portraits were actually of Crash Bandicoot fan art?
No.
Nah. I'm much more fine with these.
I
two.
don't want Crash DeviantArt on the walls. Thank you
I
very
do.
much.
God no. God no.
It depends on the picture though.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure there's mods for that. If anything, it should. I don't know if it should be easy to replace.
You know, to be fair, DeviantArt isn't just full of AI images.
Oh, I don't associate DeviantArt with AI.
Well,
Not
too
by
bad
the
because
slightest.
DeviantArt themselves want you to associate with it.
What are they like? How bad
They
are
have,
they
like, a
about
build-
it?
Oh, I mean, they have like a built DeviantArt has their own like AI like generated program inside the site itself.
Oh. Okay, to be fair, I
And
do
they've
find
had it for like a year or more than a year.
okay, I do find it quite odd that it's DeviantArt that's leaning on the AI art, because you'd think that DeviantArt is about, you know, artist expression. It's kind of
Well, they can express through like a computer making art, which is not at all, by the way. They can't make art at all, by the way.
yeah, no. I mean, you could make the argument that on Twitter, at least, there is some form of AI that's welcome there, but
not.
it's not. And like, Grok needs to fuck off. The only four letter name that ends with ROK is not Grok, it's Brock. Have you ever played that? It's a funny game about like a crocodile detective. It's pretty cool, even though the maker of it is French. Brock the Investigator.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. You can beat up sewer rats in that game.
Alright.
They got like a DLC coming, which is more focused on the combat, which is kind of Streets of Rage 4 like.
How do we feel about the remakes version of the music compared to the originals?
For Crash or
Crash.
honestly, there's not much of a difference between them and between the remake and the original. So it's honestly fine for me.
I like the remakes music, but I prefer the original soundtracks from like Mark Mothersbaugh and Jacques Mansell.
I haven't played the original, so I don't really hold like a nostalgic viewpoint of the original soundtrack. Nor have I taken the time to really listen to them. Although I will say there are some times when I would listen to a certain song and it kind of feels like the song is better if you have lesser sound quality. Like I don't know why, but I noticed with like some particularly older jazz songs, I kind of feel like if there is a bit of a scratchiness to it, it's something I enjoy better.
I like how you just went from like just went from doing the level normally and died, and then just cuts to you running on this fucking rope.
Might as well,
Like
right?
some kind of yeah, might as well like cheese it if you're not,
Yeah.
if you've done it several times and failing all the time, might as well just cheese the level.
It's not even that I feel all the time. Like I wouldn't say that I'm on a, bridge level iconic level. If anything, the platforming I don't have a problem with. The problem I have is with the fucking enemies, and the fact that there is no way. Like, would it really have been that much harder or would it have been that much easier if I could just, beat up the enemies
the
instead?
dogs.
Well, no, we're at 10.
That's the one thing I don't like. I've always hated when platformers give you like the sort of enemy that has no way of
Invincible
defeating them.
enemies.
Yes.
Enemies. Yeah, I'm totally with you.
I mean, maybe if it's something like Sly Cooper, where it's more about sneaking past your enemies and then taking them out. That's the kind of thing I can appreciate. Although I will admit, I only recently started playing the first Sly Cooper game. It's alright from what I've played. Although
Sly!
Sly doesn't get better until 3.
Uh,
Or okay, well no, Sly doesn't get like as much like doesn't get as good until like 2 onwards.
I
Okay,
consider
that makes no sense actually.
honestly, out of I've only finished 1 and 2, but I consider 1 to be a better game than 2. And I'm in the pirate segment for 3. I still see that 1 is a better game than 3.
Well, I'm gonna go on a limb here and say that I've played I've played and beaten and 100% at all 3 games. So, and I'm telling you from like from my own in my own personal opinion that 3 I think is like the best of the trilogy, and 2 is like the lowest. But in terms of like low quality games, it's not actually that low quality. If anything, 2 is actually really fantastic. Compared to Jack 2, at least.
I still prefer 1 over 2, and at least the pirate segment of 3.
Yeah, basically from what I've played of Sly 1, it's alright. I quite enjoyed it. I don't feel a reason to, quit playing. I think I'm about 20% of the way there. I've uncovered the first area the first mission I'm done with. I'm not sure if the the time runs are part of the 100% completion?
Yeah, they kind of are.
Like, does it count towards your tally?
Yes.
Okay, well then I guess I'm a quarter of the way there for the missions. I just need to do the
But
do
the Master
time-
Thief
do the
sprints is what
time
they're
run.
called, but the Master Time Thief sprints is what they're called. So yeah, and they are required for 100%.
Yeah, I still need to do them for the first area,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I kind of feel like, because I'm not making them, and I'm not even close to the goal when I get there. So I don't know if the route I'm taking is the wrong one, or if there's like an ability that I need to uncover, or if it's a kind of thing where I need to get rid of all the obstacles before I start a time trial.
If we ever get around to doing Sly, I feel like the more like it would make a lot more sense if the Master Thief sprints are like in one or two videos instead of like, you know, bundled up in the same thing, because you could retry the same level over and over and over again.
It's open to be taken.
Honestly, no. Actually,
Nah,
you could just cut.
really.
You could just not show them. Honestly, I don't know.
Wait, did somebody claim Sly Cooper?
D-pad did.
D-pad.
Ah,
Yeah, honestly, I don't think we should do the master time sprints, just because it's just running through the stage in a really fast pace. Like, honestly, when you do 3, Edgy, you're not doing the time trials, right?
I'm not even sure if I'm going to do the rest of the Crash Bandicoot series.
Oh, really? Okay.
Really, just one?
Well, okay, look. I'm the kind of... When I play chess, I just do my moves as I go. I'm kind of treating this channel the same way. Like, if I'm in a Crash mode, sure, I'll do Crash 2. But considering that Crash Bandicoot is the kind of game that we've all played, I don't want to hog up the entire franchise and just take it for myself.
That's fair. And it's kind of what me and you were doing with Ratchet. We're sharing the series, so
Yeah.
Yeah, but to be fair, if you didn't join, you would be doing all of them. But that also kind of has something to do with me not having any of the Ratchet and Clank games, aside from Rift
he's
Apart
not
and
wrong.
the movie game.
He's not wrong. Not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
And Rift Apart, I still need to play in the first place. The problem is, I kind of held out on it until I got my own PS5, and then I decided, I don't think I'm getting a PS5. I have the disk drive, because I thought I was getting a PS5 Pro, but then I realized, wait a minute, if I'm willing to spend 800 bucks, and yes, it's 800 euros in the Netherlands, and pretty much the entire European region, but yeah, if I'm willing to spend 800 euros just to make my games look better, and to be fair, also so I have my own PS5, but, you know, do I even want a PS5? Do I even need a PS5? Why not
800 euros?
Why not just put that kind of money aside and wait for Nvidia to announce a new graphics card, because it's going to be better value than 40 series. I think. I hope.
Yep.
And if I do that, I also have the additional benefit of, you know, being able to play Cyberpunk 2077 on max graphics on more than 12 FPS. I get to play Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown on a actually playable frame rate, I hope.
You can
And-
play Crisis at normal graphics.
Well, to be
Oh,
fair, I
shut up.
can't play Crysis.
Can it play? But can it play Crisis?
Yes, obviously.
That's good.
That meme
Like,
will never
Crisis-
get old. That meme will never die. Even when computers get strong enough to run that, which I think
Everyone's
they are
gonna keep.
nowadays.
You,
Yeah,
the Switch
everyone's
can.
They
gonna
are
keep
now.
joking about
The
it.
Switch can run Crysis.
Okay, yeah, that meme will
Well-
never die though.
Well, okay, I'm not sure if it can run Crysis, but it's available on the Switch.
Yeah.
Also, you said 800 euros for PS4 for the PS5 Pro
Yes.
in the Netherlands. That's nothing. It's like $1,000 in Canada.
Well, yeah, but a Canadian dollar is worth significantly less than a US dollar.
But the fact of the matter is, it's more expensive in Canada than it is everywhere else. And that's insane, and that is just insane to think about.
Hang on. Canadian.
Well, I mean, hey, he said it.
800 euros is equal to 1188 Canadian dollar and 40 cents.
Okay, well, the system itself is like $950. No, $900, and then the disk drive is like another $100. So
Yeah,
in total,
I
would
didn't
be $1,000.
Yeah, I didn't include a disk drive, but its point is it's expensive, and and once again, if all I'm gonna play are like games that are available on PC anyway, then why not just, you know, get a better graphics card? I'm on the 3060 Ti, so a graphics card upgrade has been a long time coming for me, and it gets to a point where I'm already, you know, kind of looking into other possible PC upgrades. On my Twitter, for example, I put up a list of things that I've got planned for my PC once a new graphics card comes in, and basically I'm kind of planning on doing a complete upgrade. Like, my CPU is fine, but I'm considering getting a 14900K. Right now I've got a 13700KF in my computer, and it's a perfectly fine CPU. But considering I've got a pretty good motherboard, and not only that, but like a pretty special motherboard, I want to make sure that I can get the most out of it for as long as possible. So upgrading my 13700 KF with a 14900 KF, maybe even a KS if the price is right, which, to be fair, it kind of isn't. For non-computer people, basically the 14900 KS is a little bit faster clocked to a point when it's like a pretty insignificant boost, but it's significant enough for Intel to ask $800 for that CPU when the regular 14900K is like 450. 450 is the kind of price I'm willing to spend on a CPU upgrade, especially because it means that I can pass along my 13700KF to my brother, and then I can use his 13600KF to, I don't know, upgrade like one of my friends if they desire.
Whenever I make the jump to Linux, whenever Windows 10 loses support in about a year, which I'm still sad about, then I'm just gonna opt for like an AMD graphics card, because from what I've heard, Linux and Nvidia do not mix well together. It's like water and oil or something.
Need I remind you of the iconic video of Linus Torvalds saying "Nvidia, fuck you" in a press conference?
Yeah. That's basically all it comes down to in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, but anyway, upgrades I've got planned for my computer: better CPU, better RAM, possibly a custom loop liquid cooling system, and I'm also gonna go with a smaller case. Still from Fractal Design, still a pop, but right now in my case I've got way too much empty space, and I don't like it. And also just for you, because he did say he disliked it, I did take out a Lego of my computer.
So
I didn't say I disliked it.
You just didn't like it being inside it.
It just made me feel nervous of seeing it inside it.
Look, it's
We should
perfectly
probably put it
fine
on screen right here.
It's perfectly fine to put stuff in your case. If it blocks a fan, that's a problem. But why are we even having this conversation?